Welcome back, everybody. It's almost time to jump into the train yards, the second map of the series. We had a nail biter there, got very, very close on the back of OpTic and forZe, featuring some heroics.
There we go.
There we go. That's
Nailed
where I
it.
was going with it. Just, sometimes you just got to really get ready for these things. Either way, the grand prize at the very end of the day will be a trip into the Intel Extreme Masters in Chicago, and that's quite a bit of ways away. So right now, for the time being, we are trying to determine which team will be meeting in the grand finals to play for that spot.
Yeah, and that's where we're finding heroic. So whoever wins this is, for OpTic, it's going to take 2 maps. forZe already nailed it in their first try, bagging Mirage. Now they look to steal away OpTic's map pick, but might not be that easy of a task. They did struggle on Mirage. We did see it requiring quite the performance out of Z-Power. But yeah, no, it should be interesting. I mean, you see what an opera like him can do on a map like Mirage. You'd imagine, there's going to be plenty of opportunities for much of the same on a map like Train.
I mean, the real thing to me was just the series of T rounds that forZe was able to grab in a row before.
It's like 9, right?
OpTic had any sort of response at all. I mean, we didn't see a monstrous half out of forZe in the first half either. We're talking 5 rounds. So 10-5, that somehow spins into a 16-14. And you just kind of have to wonder if you're OpTic, what happened there? Why was your CT so lackluster? Yeah, why was it so flawed? So many holes in your game plan. But I guess going into your map pick, you should feel just a little bit better. You should have something to show for yourself.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely should be the case. And I think, if you look at the win percentage for the respective teams on the map, you'd think like, oh, wow, this is maybe not that favoring for OpTic. But the really big key here is that OpTic are playing against very good opponents on a map like Train and forZe. While they have a better win percentage, they're playing against teams that are not of the same caliber as OpTic. So it might be a little bit skewed. But we'll see what comes out of it. Right now, as it stands, it's going to be the first opening kill for Nico.
The bomb gets planted, nobody having fallen until now. 4 versus 4. Jerry taking the fight here towards Ivy. Looks for a second, can't seem to do it, but don't worry, he's got teammates. Leaves it up to MSL. A banger of a first map for him with AWP. Very aggressive, very much ready to get into every single fight. But here, might have a little more than he bargained for. Flit's going to close out the round. forZe pick up a pistol. And there you have it.
Yep, great start for them again. They were able to win both pistols on Mirage as well. Didn't convert the very first one. Bit of a snafu that led to quite the OpTic run, honestly, in the first half.
I like that word. I do.
It's not a bad one.
Yeah. And I don't think many people know what it means. I mean, we could fill them in. Don't know if it's appropriate.
I mean, you do as you see fit.
Okay. So we will kind of, I'll bring it up to speed. Snafu. It's a word that was kind of dawned within the military during World War II, and that word being situation normal, all forked up is what we'll say.
Yeah.
It goes alongside of the word foobar, which is another word you can look up on your own time. Either way, here we are looking at the outside site, having had quite a bit of pressure, the other side being that of Ivy. forZe want to maybe have some sort of pincer here.
Oh, face crack. Is he going to find the timing? No, he's not.
God. Config doing config things with a deagle.
He's going to need to keep doing config things. If they're going to steal this one back, Nico's posted up with a scout. Also could do some tag damage if there's no... Ooh, actually, I was about to say if there's no resistance, and actually gets the tag onto Almazar, but Flit's there to trade him out. 1 minute left on the clock, and they're going to be abandoning Ivy.
Can't always get the energy that you need.
Nope.
But sometimes, if you try.
See what forZe are feeling like. If they like the taste of the inner bomb site, might be the case. Z-Power is kind of just hanging out here in main. Actually has a fair bit of people with him. They're going to drop down pop as well. There we go. Config down. Big kill. Also, you see most of the OpTic lineup hanging out towards the inner bomb site. They were expecting an inner push. It's not going to be the case. Scout shots flying. Bombs being planted.
Yeah. Not the scenario that OpTic wanted to find themselves in. And even with the boost, they are read like a book. Flit with the overall bird's eye view, and Jerry keeps on pushing. Had an idea that the second player was there as that tried to get that boost going. Unfortunately, he looked right. The other guy had already escaped through connector. Testis 1v3. He has garnered himself an up. Odds are he will try to save this head armor and take it into the next round.
Well, that's what he should be doing at least.
Yeah, but why not tempt fate? Like, why not stick around and make it interesting for us? Either way, second round on the board for forZe. Not to be confused with forZe. Not to be confused with forest or anything else That is just the way I read it. forZe. forZe? forZe.
I'm pretty sure it's forZe. Has to be forZe. It is forZe now. We've been saying it all invitation long. I feel like everyone says forZe.
That's forZe. That's the way it's going to be. Ain't no prediction. Remember the Water Boy? Speaking of odds.
Speaking of Waterboy, here are the odds.
GG.bet odds. 1.55 for forZe, having won that first map. Can sit comfortably as well if they continue to win rounds here, stringing them together on the second map. Round number 3. We're going to see that saved ump on Tessus. And outside of that, not a whole lot to work with here for OpTic just yet.
No, he did drop off his deagle to config. Boom. And he's actually going to make the most out of it early on. That's UMP going to work. $600 extra to his name. Doesn't even take damage for it. And here's that drop deagle.
Yes, sir.
It's going to get put to work.
Peace.
Oh, it's that face sticker that does it.
Somebody better call Jerry. Have him spring into action around here. It won't be this round, though. We're going to see him do that next round. 5 alive for OpTic.
Of course, opting to go for the, I guess, correct bomb site in that sense, if you want to call it that. Lesser defense of the two sites from OpTic.
Will that smoke bloom there towards connector? Yes, it will. Okay, so right now this retake is on. It's going to be a 3-pronged retake from the side of OpTic. If they catch this player from the back lines, and they don't, it's config with the deagle doing what he does again. Just on X power, they're going to try to pinch him right here where it hurts. Spamming from lower, it'll be config with the deagle, and he does it to him in a big way. Big round for OpTic to take, considering not a whole lot invested into it.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's pretty much what they saved from the previous round. Tessus with the UMP gets 2 kills, and the deagle he had in that round to net the UMP drops off the config. He gets 3 kills with it. That's making the most out of what you're given. See already being able to get out of this position so cleanly, and also picking up that second kill. Really, really well done by the newcomer. And config, yeah, had some dirty shots in that one.
Really did. Like to attribute that round win to him, actually, if you really want to nail it down.
I think that's fair. I think forZe, they want to talk about what just happened to them. In addition to that, they probably want to get Jerry back on the server.
That would also help.
Yeah, playing 45 is never advised, especially when you're playing for a spot at IEM Chicago.
Don't even know that it's allowed.
Yeah, no, that might be against the rules. I'll see, though.
It used to be back in the day you could do that, right, if the other team agreed.
Yeah, exactly. It was just more like a gentleman's agreement. You just wanted to play out the game. You knew your guy wasn't going to be back. And to be fair, I mean, while for broadcasting purposes, that's not ideal. I think for the team, if they can luck their way through with 4 players or close it out, potentially, it's better than just being forced to give a walkover. If it happens, late into a game or something to that effect.
Forced
into it, yeah.
There you go. No, but times certainly have changed, right? Like this game has evolved in quite some way that wouldn't even that's not even permissible.
I think that's fair to say.
But then again, we always have these situations where it's like, stand in here. Or we'll have a coach playing, a manager man. We'll have these things, and then you'll kind of wonder at what point do we start to get depth and bigger rosters? And I just don't see.
I think isn't it XCOM and AGO just kind of fused together their 2 organizations, and kind of also their teams as well. So they currently have a roster of 7 players.
Yeah, and I guess in the past it's been a situation where players don't want to opt for that because everybody wants to play, everybody wants to start,
and it makes sense as well, right? If you're good enough to be, let's say, the 6th man on Team Liquid, you're probably good enough to just have a place on the starting lineup on most other teams in the world.
Yeah, and if you're good enough to play for Team Liquid, the best team, not only in North America,
but
best
in the world,
entire planet. So there's that. Shout out to them trying to get their Intel Grand Slam next week in Cologne, but we're not there yet. Yeah. They did qualify through our qualifier series.
They could have actually been stopped by the team that we're looking at right now, forZe.
Yeah, very much could have. But in this round, it's going to be forZe versus OpTic, all with weapons. AWP on MSL's hands. It's pretty impactful with it in the last map. Perhaps he can pick it up where he left off, or perhaps not. We will find out. A lot of grenades being used here towards Ivy. Meanwhile,
I can actually do anything with it.
Yeah, very slow round overall. Nobody wanting to jump the gun here, or jump in front of the guns, rather.
Yeah, The question is if this is a case of forZe having a plan the entire time, or if it's just, well, we didn't get the reactions we wanted out of the stuff we did in Ivy, so now we have no clue.
Yeah. Gonna go with the idea that there was no plan, and config being pushed all the way up into T-connector gives them so much information.
It really does, and we might see. Well, there's no reason for OpTic to rotate away the second player on the inner bomb side as well.
Yeah.
So they're pretty decently set up for dealing with this. Seems like Almazir is going to work as a late lurk once the inner side comes. Or inner take comes in.
Boy.
MSL misses a bit of a sitter. Still low. Tessus is there.
Whoa.
The right is wrong, as an MSL has been given enough time to adjust his crosshair.
Yeah, and this lurk from Ivy's going to have to come with a quickness, that being of Almazar. He's going to have to catch up to the fight sooner rather than later. X-Power needs your help.
Well, he needs it badly right now. Got mauled from every single direction.
Yep, bomb not planted for him. Almazar, not a whole lot he's going to be able to do here. Don't see a world where he wins this. Probably will set up to just try to shoot someone in the back on their way out as Refresh gets the defuse. So a second round on the board for OpTic, 2-2 on the choice of OpTic map pick.
There you go. So forZe not getting a whole lot out of it. Solid defense from the CT side on the initial push as well, and just making the job a whole lot easier. So even if MSL misses on the first one, Tessus is there to make sure everything remains calm and steady as they get their second round in a row. At least forZe are getting bomb plants on this. So some extra cash being brought with them into future rounds, but not enough to buy up here. It's going to be the saved hero AK on Almazir. As he backwards bunny jumps towards Ivy. Down everyone goes to Refresh. Yeah, he's going to net a third as well. Z-Power with the long-range Eagles. Finally got to put an end to him, but damage has already been done.
That it has. Try to recover the bomb. Too late. See you later. Next round, potentially. 3-2. And OpTic Gaming have secured a lead, albeit a smaller one. And they're going to have to try to build on top of it. It would be pretty detrimental to lose on their CT side here, I feel.
Absolutely agreed. See what comes of it, though. A little bit worried for forZe and what they're displaying on their T side so far. Seems fairly one-dimensional. And again, not quite certain as to what the goal with what they're doing towards Ivy is as of just now.
I have a goal for you, Halvor.
Ooh. Okay, yep, shoot.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. The goal being for you to head to csgo.net and use code Chicago.
Chicago. All right. What happens if I do that?
Well, you do get 30% more, I guess, re-up bonus or something like that, right?
Oh, yeah, it's top me up?
Yeah, yeah. That's
on my deposit? Not bad.
An official partner of GG.bet, Chicago Invitational. Check them out. forZe with the intro kill in the lineup is not going to be there for Tessus. So Nico and him do fall. Meanwhile, MSL had an idea. It's not going to be very well executed. And Config will be the only one alive. This round has really come and gone just as fast as it started. They have spotted, they have isolated Config, and now it is over. Will they be able to grab that op? I think they will. X-Power already has one, so I guess it doesn't really...
Yeah, I was about to say, it's a bit interesting. They might drop it over to Almazir. He's been the one to rock the secondary op more often than not for this team. But you don't really see double op that often on a map like Train.
On a T-side train at that.
Yeah.
Maybe I can understand CT side.
Yeah, no, yeah, that makes a whole lot more sense. There, you just have to justify the total investment of it. But if you can pick it up, yeah, I think most teams would do that any given day. But well, might be judging it off of the spawn from Flit. It was a good spawn, just not in time. So is he going to go back for an AK? Or is he going to hold on to that? Jerry makes his way down lower. He's going to find Tessus as well. Jerry finding some crucial opening kills here on that inner bomb site. Just this round and the previous one as well. Bomb plant's going to go down. It's going to be for hire as well, so they're pretty nicely set up. Tucked away in the corner, and OpTic's already kind of given up on this.
Yeah, that they have. The bomb gets planted with a quickness, so if you are OpTic, not a whole lot of cushion there. Minus an idea that somebody does something crazy. Just not going to happen. They're going to save towards Ivy. And we're going to have one of those games, aren't we, Halvor?
We might have it. It's going to be, I mean, regardless if it's a quick round, it's going to be a slow save, right? Config gets boosted over to the corner.
Interesting. Yeah, we do have a bit of a triangle defense here for OpTic. Trying to hold down these guns in Ivy. Maybe, just maybe, forZe don't want to mess with the Hornet's nest. They're going to go for it, though. Take down one. They punish it. Look for the second spray, not exactly lining up. And Nico able to close the round out with a kill on a Jerry.
Still doing that damage. Probably prevents OpTic from rebuying into this. So Nico would have had enough money to drop a gun. Tessis would have been able to drop one as well. They're actually, they will actually go back into it. So going to be about as limited as you can get on utility for the most part. It's a little bit worrying as we have a bit of a pause coming in.
Roger that. A pause is in order, and that's what we're going to give you. Not sure what the meaning is, but hey, guys, there we are. So, Halvor, how you feeling?
Feeling pretty good.
Nice.
Getting started, getting into some train action. I think is this the first time we've seen train?
Today, for me at least.
Well,
yes.
yeah, and I'm trying to think back even to the earlier days. I don't think we've seen train so far in this invitational. So there's a first time for everything.
Yeah, I guess you
Suppose,
are right there.
No,
yes.
No, I can't really recall. If we had a train game, it wasn't an outstanding one by any means.
Tell you what, I'll pull up the stats right here. In the meantime, while we try to get some information as to what's going on, just looking at this entire event so far, has anything stuck out to you that's really kind of blowing your mind?
I think Blame F's performances just all across all of the maps. I think he's the highest rated player by quite a margin.
In the first game today, he definitely put some hurting on him. Yes, he is.
Yeah, and he's done that for the entirety of it. And then, as we can see, the follow-up, Z-Power. He's been a bit of a godsend for forZe in many situations. I think that last game versus OpTic, or the first map versus OpTic, was a definite indication of that. So it's been fun to see. A lot of new talent showcasing themselves as we're back into it. And already, FaceCrack's going to find Config. Config's been playing so aggressively here towards A-Man, and having had success early on is going to get shut down now. Tides might be turning here for OpTic.
Might be. Sometimes all it takes is a little bit of a momentum shift. A little bit of a bright light, maybe even a flash. Who knows? 4-3, forZe running right into MSL's AWP. Finds two. Has an idea that there might be a player in ladder, and he is exactly right. That's 3 for him on the round. And Almazar being the last one alive. Really won't matter too much where he goes. Bombs down in a pretty inhospitable spot. 4-on-1. 4 grenades. MSL caught out in the open, so his little run is down. With all these grenades, 40 seconds on the clock, you might as well throw some grenades around, right? Like, you might as well do something with it.
Just go wild.
Go wild with it. If this was Jordan, he'd be nothing. He'd be throwing grenades up in the air.
Flashing himself to do the flashbang dance.
Yeah, basically flashing himself just to flash himself, I guess.
I mean, because you do know that you can, clutch at a moment, or flash, or however that thing
Did
goes.
you know you could clutch through a moment? Wait.
How does that go?
Don't think you can. Oh, my God.
Yeah, no, we need to do some Googling work.
I used to know this off the top of my head, but not really. Think you can't clutch through a smoke while recording in full resolution and streaming the play to the world? Watch this. Think you can't get famous in a flash like becoming your own meme famous? Watch this. Think he's been there, done that, Halvor?
Well,
with the Intel Core i7. He's just getting started. Game, record, stream without compromise on the Intel Core i7. And here, we're going to be doing all of that with or without that. So there you have it, Twitch chat. Go wild and know what you do with these sort of things. A bunch of Dothraki. It's basically what you all are. Wildlings.
They're from beyond the wall.
They're on the
They really are.
They really are. They just kind of have a mind of their own. And I love you all for it. I'd say never change, but some of you certainly should consider it. Some unacceptable things were said yesterday, Halvor, and we had to report those people. So, anyway, back into the action of the 4-2-4 being the score. We're going to see guns coming out on both sides. X-Power with AWP, MSL with AWP. MSL finding quite a bit of success with it. He's really kind of grown into his own with this op. So, good on him. But can he keep it up? Can he push it enough to get OpTic into Intel Extreme Masters Chicago?
All right, the double setup on higher here.
Yeah, what an idea.
This is just going to push through the smoke. So all the utility in the world is flying down on the site, and most of them have actually made it past. Oh, that's a perfectly timed flash.
Oh, it was. But did they see him up there? I think they did.
Oh, just slow to react, though, Flit.
Yeah, I can't get the shot off, and that's a big problem.
Well, Jerry's solving those. What in the world is going on down there? What the?
There
All
you
right,
go.
then.
What in tarnation?
Yeah, no, that was a weird one, but they made it work.
They did.
Got pretty much unscathed out on the B bomb site, just Flit going down, and OpTic probably equally as confused as we are.
They had a really good setup for that, too.
Yeah.
You saw how they counter-smoked, and then they pushed the guy to the other side of the smoke, thinking, okay, if you're forZe, you're going to push out there, and you're going to try to get some view out onto the site.
And you get mauled, right?
Really well done. However, that's just
forZe had one up on them somehow.
not really how that worked out. Refresh, going to try to hold on to this M4 here, and T-Con. Good luck. And 5th round for forZe. Nobody really trying to string them together. I guess. You get 2, 1, 1. Hell, 3 from OpTic in a row was about the longest streak that we've had up to this point.
Well, another pause coming in, and this time it's of the tactical nature. And you would imagine that's OpTic trying to figure out what they need to do.
Maybe thinking about their entire lives after losing that round. Who knows?
Definitely be, well, asking some questions as to what went down, because I'm still kind of confused as to how forZe made that happen.
I mean, there's no real money for them in this round, but for some reason, somehow, I don't understand exactly what is going on right now. Like, how have they done that?
Yeah, no, it's the forZe magic, right? Like when we talked about how we've seen on a lot of the maps that opponents just get into awkward situations that they're not really comfortable with, and seemingly forZe are this is just second nature to them. And in a sense, they're like Vegas Squadron light, because there seems to be a little bit more method to what they're doing, but
The light version.
yeah, it's I guess the best of both worlds in many ways. And, ooh, Config, he's feeling it.
Interesting idea.
Third
Will
time's
he
the
go-
charm?
Yeah, will he swing for the fences a third time?
But Jerry's actually just going to go back on the aggressive with 10 HP.
He thought about it. He really wanted it. Now he's going to back out of there, all things considered. Coming away with 38 HP. Somehow, that's not going to be very long-lived. The fight will ensue. And now just the first casualty on the side of forZe will be face crack. Oh, boy. This has not gone well for OpTic Gaming. MSL and Refresh, one kit between the two of them. Bomb not even anywhere near the site yet. But now the decision has been made. They're going to go towards inner. And rightfully so, having that of Flit and Jerry already pushed down to the halls. It'll be interesting, though. OpTic have kind of read into this when they've gambled. They went ahead and stacked inside. We are at a standstill.
At impasse. Well, the two weapons that were brought into this round for OpTic are going to have to do a whole lot of work. Refresh position is a bit of a one and done.
Yep. Speaking of one and done, here's MSL, and he's no longer with us.
Yeah.
There you go. 6 for forZe. I talked about a string of rounds. 2 is the start of a series, so perhaps we will see that.
4 out of the last 5 as well. The cool thing for forZe right now, I mean, Train is normally a map that you'd consider pretty heavily CT-sided, much more so than most of the maps really remaining in the map pool. So for them to have 6 rounds this early on, should be pretty fun to see how far forZe can go with this.
There you have it. A pretty quick round, all things considered. Might have been the fastest round of the day thus far. Almost blinked and missed the whole thing. It was pretty nuts, Halvor. 7 for forZe. If you are watching from work, if you're joining us, unbeknownst to your boss, you are cheating the system. Shame on you, but also hello, and I hope you're having a good day, even if you are at work. Tell your boss we said hello. By we, I'm talking about Dinko and Halvor, because I don't want any part of that trouble. we go. A quick outside take here. forZe looking to get super aggressive. They want to kind of beat back some of this confidence that OpTic had early on. Well, this hasn't gone completely to plan just yet. Almazar and Jerry, only 2 left alive, and the bomb hadn't been planted. Pretty much a race for the outside bomb site. Almazar, quick on the draw there, takes out Config. 2v3. Tessus, Nico, and Refresh looking to lock this down. Bomb having been picked up, but how will this plant look? Maybe it just won't. Jerry with 1 kill in his name on the round. Bit off a little bit more than he could chew. And it'll be Tessus that feeds him his food. OpTic pick up 1. Again, string of rounds limited to just 3, and then OpTic have a response. Another pause coming out.
Yep. Again, a tactical one at that. forZe probably just wanting to make sure that they have everything planned out, not let OpTic get back into a bit of a run here to close out the first half. OpTic obviously looking to get the 8, and forZe just want to extend this lead as much as possible. And they do have the money to do so for the time being. And they know that OpTic are in a bit of a fragile state.
Fragile. And here we are. Jerry with the interesting play there, having Molotov himself considerable amount, and by considerable I mean 80 damage done to himself. And now just on 20, the battle for Enter that never was has severely crippled him. forZe do not necessarily have a method into any of the sites at this point. If they do pressure Ivy right now, it is pretty wide open. The only one even close to respond would be that of Refresh. They're starting to make noise over here. The real question will be is if they hear him. No real distraction being made on the other side of the map.
Depending on where they put down the smokes here as well, Refresh can either have an opportune one way or potentially just be the only thing they look at, given the position. He's going to duck down, so avoids at least immediate elimination, but gets found out by Almazar. And the boost up here in connector is going to net Nico 1 kill, but a lot of damage being done. Oh, Almazar not able to close out MSL. Still alive with 29 HP, and there's a lot of back and forth here.
Yes, there is. Face crack getting it in. Jerry 2. And there you have it. 8 for forZe. They are able to follow that round up. Things can't just be consequential. Or sequential, rather.
Yeah.
They can be very much consequential. Don't do something dumb. But sequential, well.
Getting all fancy with the words here.
Yeah, it's too many words sometimes, you know. This was from a couple rounds ago. And I wondered how Config got that kill. It didn't really make sense to me, but.
It's totally planned.
CSGO in a nutshell, everyone. Here are your GG.bet odds brought to you by Halvor.
Yep. It's looking at OpTic being less favored now at 4.3 odds to take out this map. forZe looking pretty solid here. This, keep in mind, this is not their map pick. They're just playing really damn well at 1.19. forZe, yet again, finding openings. Jerry has been very active on train so far. Continues to be so, and FaceCrack's just ripping heads off out from main. Now leaves Tessus.
Running the show, a 9-5 first half. We look at the last round of the half. Well, OpTic, I mean, I have to ask you, Halvor, is 5 enough? Is 6 even enough?
I don't know. Like, that's the rough part. Again, you said going into your own map pick, you would have expected them to have a little bit more going their way. Hasn't necessarily been the case. I feel like forZe have definitely showcased that they know how to play train, and they've been worthy of it.
Old forZe. Or forZe, rather. Here we go. We do approach 7 p.m. on the clock, local time for us. One more best of 3 after this to determine who goes on into Chicago. Right now, forZe pick up this map win. That's all she wrote for OpTic Gaming. No more chances. They are out. we'll get to see heroic fours. There's still a chance, though. You never know with these pistols. Let's keep our eye on the inside. That's what Jerry had to do, at least until Nico found it. Took his eye right out. Flit's going to finish the job, and that's going to be the inside side open. Finally, the rotation comes in from MSL with AWP. Fig playing from the ladder room. This is just an all-out brawl. Kind of everybody go where you can, shoot as many people as you can.
See where that takes us. And
yeah.
Currently, it's taking force to double digits. Jerry's just been so active. 16 kills to his name. That's the in-game leader of force as well. He's doing a lot of the openings as well for this force side on the T side. Just straight up impressive. Nothing really to pinpoint from force's end just in terms of what they're doing poorly or anything to that effect. They're in prime position. They might be looking at a finals here. So where they got cut short by Team Liquid in the last Invitational at the very, very end of it on the third map, might not even have to go to the third for this one.
Yeah, this one's looking pretty clear cut so far. This pistol should be pretty telling. But these USPs and the range that they bring, well, ouch. Yeah. Let's see what happens here. What do they have up their sleeve for OpTic Gaming on their map pick?
Well, a whole lot of utility, that's for sure.
Damn right.
See, 2 Molotovs, 2 smokes, 4 flashes. They're going to go out into yard early on. So that cuts off connector and green train. Face crack. Ooh, actually going to be able to find Tessus as well. So favorable trades. Currently, at least for them, and that's about as flash as you can get in CS,
yeah.
I think.
I think that was the one. Right in your face. Great peek there. Great combination play. They're able to pick up that bomb, or at least go to recover it.
Oh, Flit, he had an idea, but just gave up on it too early. Now a bit of a rocky spot to be in if you're Almazer. Needs to duck and dive, and Z-Power comes into the rescue, and that leaves MSL alone. Yeah. But not for long. He's going to join his teammates down in the grave, down in his tomb, after Z-Power showcasing why we talked so much about him early on. Hasn't had the greatest of trains in that sense, hasn't necessarily blown our minds just yet. It's been a lot about face crack, Jerry, those guys to start things off on the T side, but Z-Power gets into this as well. Might just be game over for OpTic.
Well, here's the thing is, like, MSL had a pretty good impact on the first map.
Yeah.
Pretty quiet on this one.
Yeah, haven't really gotten into the swing of things with the op. Not nearly as many opening frags as well. Yep. That's about right.
Well, see you later, Config. That is that. A lot of his teammates there trying to combine up on Ivy. They're going to be running right into an SMG as it's just Jerry's show all day long. Finishing it out with the USP. 12 for fours, and they are on their way. Still one more save inbound coming for OpTic. And as the GG.bet odds display, it is not looking pretty for OpTic right now.
Yeah, it's not as close as it once were, is it? No. OpTic nearing double figures, at least in one department, but not quite the one you want. And 9.85 in odds. Well then, force, they continue their crusade towards the final spot here. They're going up against more or less just pistols on the side of OpTic. Oh, should be looking at a 13th round. Z-Power already has that op in hand. He's got a forward positioning as well. He's going to find Nico with a bomb.
They have playing close with the SMGs. Can be done in a round like this against these pistols. And face crack, only able to get one right there. This shouldn't be too much longer. Oh my goodness, I take it all back. Fig has done it in a very dirty fashion. 3 frags to his name. Now, having picked up an AUG, becomes even more deadly. Jerry, 18 HP, X-Power, AWP, 100 HP. But the bomb is down. Plenty of time for Config to kind of work around, but he's going to have to walk just about the entire way. And as soon as he makes a kill, as soon as he makes that bit of contact, that's all she wrote. Fours, 13-5. This will be a very telling round. This will be the round that defines the end of the game, I feel. OpTic on a bye. We're going to see the op come out. They're going to pass over to MSL. Nico goes with the AK and the utility that they have. Will it suffice? That's going to be the big question.
Yeah. I mean, they need something to work for them. So far, Comfy the only one into double figures on the side of OpTic. So we'll see if they can bring it back here. Start, well, it could be a monumentous comeback, or if they're just going to fall flat. Early flashes exchanged. Nobody's really popped out from OpTic, though, and Almazer's already taken out the op on the side of OpTic.
OpTic. No, well, Tessa's going to have some say in it. He has made things finally favorable here for the side of OpTic. Refresh, late peek from Ivy. Nearly boffs it up. Leaves in 26, but is actually able to get the frag. They've netted themselves already a lot of cash inside of forZe, so even losing this round, even conceding it, they will have plenty of money going into the next. Still a chance for forZe to close this out early on before we even let OpTic get back into it. In this round, maybe not so much, but let's find out.
Slow and steady.
It's one of those, oh yeah, it's fine. It's not going to come here, boom.
All of a sudden the stake is burnt. Like,
it's like it has a magnetic field to it. It just finds you at the very
that
end.
extra, yeah.
He was already pretty hurt too, so unfortunate, but there you go. Bye. Flit 1-on-3, going to find himself a spot in the connector. Try to take away some weapons, but no one's going to be home. So OpTic go up to 6. forZe still sit on 13. And there you have it.
Bomb goes down. Op has been salvaged. So yeah, all things considered, a pretty good round for OpTic Gaming. First one in a while.
OpTic.
To put it mildly, as we see that GD.bet odds as well. About as close as you can get to, I guarantee, I guess, on forZe in terms of the odds there.
Yeah,
1.02
to 1. Jesus.
Yeah, so they did get to double figures there. Got that going for them.
I mean, if you're OpTic and you drop out of the qualifier at this point, I mean, what do you say, Halvor? What do you do?
You can't really say a whole lot, can you?
Yeah.
Just have to admit that forZe were the better team today, and so far they've definitely showcased that. We'll see, though, if that's going to remain true for the rest of it. Flit getting real aggressivity. Gets actually just combat opt by MSL. Meanwhile, Config's moved forward on higher as well. So the inner bomb side is out of fault. OpTic plant once more, and this is going to be a save round for the Russians.
Yeah, they're going to hold on to some of these guns. 5-7 might do some work right here. Almost, but not enough. Almost only counts horseshoes and hand grenades. Think about that on your own time.
I was about to say, like, MSL, seeing if he can find some of the retreated CT players in T-spawn. That's going to get smoked off as well. So they're going to tuck themselves into corner. Not quickly enough, though. Nico finds one. And El Mazur, you don't really want to take this challenge, especially when you can't hit a single damn thing. Jerry, chances it for the off, and actually gets away with it, too. Solid effort from the in-game leader. Now then, 13-7. Is this the start of the comeback, Trace? Are you a believer in OpTic?
Well, you just jinxed it now, so no. It's over.
Ash is a hypothetical situation,
no,
you know?
No.
No, you don't believe at all?
No. forZe are going to stay alive in this one, I feel. I just have one of those gut feelings. Maybe that's the pizza we had earlier, but still, it's there nonetheless.
Z-Power is just going to hold off for teammate for the time being. He's going to need to be the focal point of the defense here for forZe if they're going to fight back to this, most likely. See smokes flying in and out. All over the place, keeping him guessing. That's one.
Anybody else want to challenge Mr. Sex Power?
We'll see. FaceCrack might have ideas of his own. Lurking inside the smoke. Is he going to move forward? He will. Oh, God, yeah. No, that didn't quite work out.
Config's there with the answer. FaceCrack rang. But now the bomb being planted. forZe do have this AWP. They can take that into the next round, but all these Deagler. Well, excuse me, not even Deagle. It's 5-7 and CZ. Might as well do something strange for a little piece of change.
Could be worth it. Never know what you find. It seems like they might just be setting up as a bit of a shield for Z-Power here with that op.
Could be worth it. You work it. Put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
And I actually don't know what Missy Elliott says after that.
It's your
Yeah. It's your Yeah, that sounds about right.
If you got up, ow, let me search. Yeah, that one, right?
Yeah.
That's not my best elephant impersonation, but it's there nonetheless.
Hard to make an elephant or sound though.
It is. I'd find like Chewbacca easier to imitate than an elephant, I think.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. We don't really have the entire trunk thing going for us, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty essential. I don't know. Maybe Dinko has a pretty good elephant impression.
Yeah, we'll let him practice a little bit, and
Yeah.
perhaps he'll.
If we start hearing noises like in the background,
Yeah, we're not at the zoo.
it's just Dinko.
Just Dinko doing what Dinko does.
I feel like Dinko, with a nickname like that, he should have a pretty good dingo impression.
Dinko the dingo.
Yeah.
Australia might. Oh wait.
Yeah, then again, yeah, he's not from Australia.
Oi.
Oi.
Don't get it started. You'll make them all mad. Because if you don't finish it, I've learned the hard way.
Oh, really?
They will come for your head. So,
They will attack. They're like drop bears.
yeah.
Ruthless.
Learned what that was while I was there.
Pretty terrifying stuff.
Nonetheless, AWP playing outside here with X Power, and he is going to be posted up. Fast play from OpTic to go inside, though. Very, very fast play. Flit there. Probably not going to have any indication that they already came out upper.
Still gets the dink, though, just
Yeah.
not the kill.
Did land the dink. That might help out in the long run, but it's going to be up to Jerry to try to eliminate this player. They pulled a lot of information there. However, the hit's outside. The bomb's outside, too. And Refresh with the kill. Face crack. Set up in a very good spot for the ambush. He does land it. Finally, Tessa dies on the inside. But MSL with a good trade. 3v2, Jerry and X Power. What can they do?
Z-Power currently Molotov off, so he needs to reposition to get into the action. Kind of need to find an early frag here before they attempt this retake.
Smells like a save.
Smells like it looks like a sell.
Look at where Jerry is, though. I mean, he's already in the site.
Yeah, is he just going to go for a smoke diffuse? That seems very brazen.
You won't. You
He
won't.
will.
No balls. You won't do it.
Got massive cojones.
Okay, well.
OpTic apparently has a pretty good trackpad.
Even bigger ones, I suppose. So AWP is going to be salvaged. They're not going to try to hunt him down. It's going to be X-Fire that holds on to it and some armor going to the next round.
Ooh, oh, how's that
Just
not
barely.
a hit?
That looked good to me.
Yeah, looked good to me as well. Oh, well. One thing that I'm hoping to see out of forZe right now is the fact that they opted to buy in at the first opportune moment, leaving them with, well, a lot less utility than what they might have wanted. So given the fact that they have a bit of a cushion here, they have a 4-round lead still. I hope they conserve their money in a fashionable sense to get a proper buy-in, really, when the next buy round comes. So they don't really skimp on any sort of utility.
Yeah, there's no real buy to be had around this AWP, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
well, that's one way to start the round. Big nade damage done. Going to try to do some sort of cheeky boost on the inside.
Nico's on it, though. Conflic's really getting into it here.
He's getting fired up, and that's not what you want if you're forZe. You're up 13-9 currently on round 23. Don't let this slip away now. All formalities. Bomb having been planted for OpTic. They're going to slip up the double digits in 10. Joining forZe at 13 will be the next goal at hand. 5 players staying alive for OpTic. That's going to help them monetarily speaking, even though they've built up quite the bank, netting themselves quite a few round wins in a row. .10, 5 rounds in a row. All of them being bomb plants. So OpTic sitting pretty, probably buying Escalades on spinners. Living the dream. I don't know if that was like just an American thing or perhaps in Norway too, but sounds pretty American, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Didn't really catch on in Norway.
Candy paint glistening in the light. Wet candy paint. Strolling through Houston. OpTic, of course, not quite outlawed, but run boost there. They're going to try to put this op of MSL over into Ivy into use. Almazar will be there with his own.
That's the double op setup. We saw it on the T side. We're going to see it on the CT. Still enough utility to work with here on the side of forZe as well in terms of defending any sort of pushes. They haven't wasted any of that too soon. OpTic though, so 3 smokes, 3 Molotovs, and a whole lot of flashes, so they can do pretty much whatever they want at this stage.
Absolutely. Smoke Molly comes out for the side of OpTic over on Ivy. No one there to contest it, but quick to the hole in the wall will be Jerry.
Oh, okay.
Interestingly enough, has put that out, which probably does make OpTic a little bit uneasy.
Yeah, gets a little nice gap as well.
Oh boy.
25 bullets, not going to be enough to get the trick done.
Tons of damage in this round. Very much could have gone in the way of forZe, but so far they have more than just thrown it down on the ground and stomped all over it. xPower and Flit alone. They're going to hear this bomb being planted. Flit tries to stop it, can't get to it in time. That would have been the play.
Yeah, that would have definitely been it, but it's not going to be the case. OpTic again getting away with a round here. forZe having chances, just not being able to capitalize. Individuals that were firing on all cylinders in the first half, not following through. Let's see if Z-Power can save once again. He's not really been left in many situations where he can have a lot of impacts.
No, but they want to take this op from him. They're sick of playing against it, I think.
Yeah, he's been saving it so many times.
Oh, just missing it too. Gonna net themselves another op. It's Refresh that picks it up at the end of the round. And here we have
the boot too.
OpTic getting back into the game. If you blow this lead, forZe, you've really got to think about things.
Yeah, that's going to be a rough one. I mean, similar fashion to what OpTic did on Mirage, right?
Yeah.
Allowing your opponent to get back into it off of a pretty significant streak. Even this time, forZe winning the pistol, so they should have had everything set, really, for success. Now we see the odds. Considerable change in
in the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, so GG bet. Now realizing, yeah, OpTic, they might have a shot at that, sitting at 2.4 odds. Still favorited here for forZe, as they're still in the lead. They just kind of need to luck their way into 3 rounds. But it's looking to be pretty hard. OpTic playing a solid T side here. We could definitely see that in terms of having a game plan and being able to execute it. It's going a whole lot better on the T side than what it did on the first half. Well. We'll see if they actually can take us back to a third one. Decider would be Nuke, which should be exciting if we get to that point. Or if forZe are going to close it out and set us up for finals versus Heroic. The thing that has me a little bit worried now is the fact that when we're seeing these pauses, and this happens to be a technical one, is that forZe have a bad history of this.
Yeah.
Being very close to
the finish line and
exactly, and
tripping and stumbling.
Yeah, just not finishing at all. So hopefully it's not something too serious. This is where, like, I wish I could see the chats to see if there's like, a bathroom break.
Yeah, would be nice to understand, but
not going to be the case. But they're starting to buy up, so I'm assuming everything is in order. It's a half investment on the side of forZe. Not really sure I'm a too big fan of the purchase from Flit there. Again, like, having all the utility you can possibly get is going to be real nice for you. So, yeah, you have max loss bonus, but don't really need that head armor going up against a full AK squad.
No, you don't. But we do need just a little bit of information here. Try to understand what's going on. We know what you know. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. The way of the road, Bubs. The way she goes.
Well, everyone has bought up on, well, invested into something at least on the side of forZe. So safe to say that they're all on the server. It's not where the issue lies at the very least. And freeze time has continued on, and into the game we go again.
Yes, sir. It's going to be that of a outside setup for the time being on this OpTic offense. Use some grenades early on, but that's going to be met with some stiff aggression in that of forZe. They have themselves with some pistols and some utility. Trace that begin to come out. So far, it's going to be forZe that have found, well, just enough to keep them neck and neck. 3v3, Big running low and full. It's going to try to Molotov the competition out. Flit, on the other hand, and xPower have other plans. Just Tassus, 1v3, AK in hands. A nice shot there to take Flit out, having jumped on top of the bomb box. Another one on Almazar. 6 HP on xPower. Oh, no. And he takes the shot, and that has just rang the bells as to where he is. So right now, Tessa's is going to be running it back inside at the Fury's pace. You do hear some typing. You have to wonder if Config is typing. Oh, read like a book.
Yikes, yeah, that...
What a play.
What a play indeed. I was expecting Tessa to kind of hang out above Pop, expecting to see the rotation coming in. It drops right down into the crosshair of Z-Power.
But don't let this detract from the fact that Cloud9 won the major. Okay, that was a reach, sorry.
Throwing it back there.
No, but in all reality, it is OpTic with still plenty of money.
That is very true, and it's not like this saves forZe from any sort of poor economic situation. Don't really have much more in the pockets as we get into round 26. We've seen what Z-Power can do, and we're going to see if he's going to be able to continue on that. Face Crack gets taken out by himself, so both hoppers getting in on the action early.
Olaf being Molotov'd off. Next Power gets caught jumping with his pants down. Already sounds like a pretty awkward thing to have happened regardless. Jerry with the response. Refresh one of his own. 3v2. Somehow, some way, Jerry wins out that battle with Refresh. So 2v2 we have on our hands.
Now we do, and he might swap out for the AWP as well, being on low HP. Still no rotation coming in from Flit. He's holding that ender bomb site.
Oh, he's committed.
Like he's, yeah, like his life depends on it. Jerry's going to push out from Ivy, see if he finds anything there. Little does he know that Nico, one player he hasn't seen yet, is lurking around behind them. So right now, Nico's more or less cleared out the entirety of Yard, not finding a single man, which, well, doesn't leave too many avenues really for Jerry to have passed, and that's where, well, to have gone, and that's why you see MSL setting up with his aim towards A main.
Look at Flit, though. He's holding fast on the inside. He is committed, dedicated to that. Now, with that frag on a Jerry, that changes this all up. 14-11 currently. Bomb will be planted. 2v1. Nico and MSL versus Flit.
Finds the first one. Oh, well. MSL gets it done. Not going to miss out on that one. 3 kills to his name in that round, and very patient ones at that. The biggest one, waiting for the full slow rotation out of Jerry from Ivy. Seals the deal for OpTic, and that brings them back to 12. Also, as you said, plenty of money for them to go around. That's not the case for forZe. They've been really struggling to put rounds on the board here.
Yeah, speaking of money, talk about needing to call Saul for some loans here. forZe 14-12. Money looking real low. MSL is going to get run boosted just to have an op shot, but no one's home. No one wants to play that game, MSL. Try a different one. Solitaire, perhaps.
Well, Jerry's not going to get Molotov'd out, but Refresh is going to find Z-Power, and eventually Jerry does fall.
Deagle's got something to say.
Yeah. 5-7 might chime in as well, but MSL too quick.
The timing was there, too. Round was pretty quick, all things considered. 14-13. We're going to see a proper buy coming out for forZe. This is their chance to shut the door. If there was ever one, this is it now. Not to remind you that the first half was pretty much a blunder for OpTic, only netting themselves 5 rounds.
Yeah. Good thing for them is that they've been looking really solid with how they've approached things on the second half. T-side looking nice and polished so far. Now then, might be the final send for forZe here. They've invested everything they've got into this round. MSL drops down.
Full commit.
Not often you see that with an op.
Nope, not at all. Holding on the spawn flank will be Refresh. It's going to be a battle with him and Almazar for distance here in just a bit. Both players very much on the extremity of the map. Meanwhile, the main OpTic hit looks to be from that of Ladder. I don't know if MSL can see him. I just
not yet.
No, I guess not. There you go. Face crack over here at the E-box. What's he going to do with it? Spots one. Looks, sees a second there. Does grab him. Can he grab 3? Does.
Yes, he can.
Indeed. This is looking like forZe on 15. Unless Refresh can do something wild right here.
Needs to retrieve bomb and pop dog. Ooh. Not even going to get that far. Face crack. What a hero round from him.
That was completely necessary.
They managed to do so with having players staying alive as well, which means that they're going to get the rebuy in. Everyone's going to have nades, weapons, all you can ask for. This is
Desserts.
brazen of him.
We're talking baked potatoes with all the fixings, some cheese, some sour cream.
Some ranch.
Maybe that.
You got to have ranch for everything, right? Like,
Well,
if I've learned anything from you, Trace, you have ranch with everything.
There are actual limits to that. Like, I wouldn't
Really?
eat ranch in, like, a California roll. That sounds pretty gross. What I would like to see here is X-Power with a little bit of ranch on this hot sauce of an op he has, except he's going to have to run from the smoke. Playing it safe. forZe, no real reason to press the issue too much. They've been battered back pretty heavy on their CT side. In the meantime, it's going to be OpTic walking through Ivy. Almazar with the first contact here, playing on top of the train. We'll be looking down upon them. They're going to try to do a drive. Fig with the peek. Almazar, a non-factor.
Can Jerry find the right time to peer out? Answer is yes, at least for the time being. But Nico has managed to find a crack in the defense of OpTic. Let's pop open for business. Himself's been so patient with these rotations.
He really has, hasn't he? Jerry is able to swing around and get one, but they're going to pincer him right here on the site. Can't seem to get the necessary kill. That's not a good look for forZe. Unless something crazy happens here. X-Power, 1v2, spots the player, unscopes for reasons unbeknownst to us. In 15-14 we go. OpTic Gaming, do or die right here. Need to win this round or we're going into overtime. Halvor's favorite time.
That's where all the good things happen. Speaking of good things and good times, GG.bet with the updated odds here, and it's, getting closer and closer, understandably so. forZe still favorite, as they sit on map, match, series points, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
OpTic at 2.09 to bring this back in overtime and win it out from there. We'll see, though.
I just have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be forZe that win this round somehow, some way, even with this
funky fashion.
Yeah, with this weird buy. Like, it just...
It's the MP9 or the ZZ to get triple kill, that kind of a thing.
It's just how this game has gone overall, the series altogether, really.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more production naturally out of the OpTic players. Config sitting at 27, so he's miles above everyone else, but at least everyone's gotten into the mid-double figures here, or if I say mid-double figures, the mid-teens. That's more like it. As we go at it again. Hasn't been too much inner pressure for a while here from OpTic, so they've been able to leave just a solo player on the inner bomb side and split most of the time.
Yes, it's true. I do believe that could be the case. Still 5v5. Just about a minute 5 left on the clock.
Yeah, Jerry playing inside pop once some more. Every time we've seen OpTic going down here, they've always thrown a Molotov or something of the sort pretty close to have him reposition, and well, they might not even bother with that, considering looks like it's going to be a hit towards the inner bomb site. So this CZ might actually come into big play here.
It might. They've smoked out lower, and rightfully so. And it's done just enough to push OpTic off of what looked like it was about to be a pretty immense B hit. Meanwhile, Refresh with the big flank. He is in the back lines towards Old Bomb. If he can make it all the way into CT spawn, that's going to be a disaster for forZe, and we are certainly going to be looking at overtime. He's taking his time. They haven't pulled a fight just yet. There he is. Refresh on the picture-in-picture. You see the top left. Now's the time to pounce. Wondering how he got so close will be that of forZe. This site is open for business. That bomb will get planted. 3 on 5. Almazar, Jerry, X-Power. Refresh in a really pivotal position for this round to have gone the way it did. We're staring at overtime right in the face. There you have it. 15-15. OT1 begins now.
They brought it all the way back. So while forZe were able to close that out at the very end of Mirage, they're not going to have the same fortune here. Config having a monster of a game at 27. We'll see if they're going to be able to continue the good trend here. Going to get to, also continuing on their T side, which is where they found most of their luck. That's going to feel good for them. They can just keep going with whatever they've been doing for the better part of this half. Force them there, and finally they're going to have, I guess, a solid buy all across the board. But it really needs to come through that they win the first round. Otherwise, we're going to be looking at some rather shaky buys once more.
Very, very sneaky, sir. Pause coming out as we just wait for overtime to get started. And there we go. Here's some typing in the chat. Just imagine people having to get up to do their process, their ritual, I suppose.
Hashtag trust the process.
Yeah. Something of the sort. If you're just joining us, you have no idea what this tournament's all about. Well, where do we begin? This is the GG Bet Chicago Invitational. The word Chicago is in there for one specific reason. That's because the winner of the entire thing here, the winner of the next best of 3 on the stream, will have earned their spot at the Intel Extreme Masters Chicago, which, if you do have the opportunity, you should certainly check out. It will be inside the United Center. Very magical place. Shout out Michael Jordan. Even bigger shout out would be to Kanye West. I hope you stop by wherever you are. If everybody could just go ahead and slip him a tweet right now.
Can we get Kanye to do like the
musical act?
Pre-final, yeah.
Dude, that would honestly be sick. I would be.
Either that or Chief Keef. I don't know.
There we go, Halvor.
Yeah.
That's Vendetta, Vendetta. Or Chance the Rapper, that'd be cool too.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Anyway, X-Power taking a chance of his own. He's going to go ahead and find config very early on in OT now that we have money stabilized. A little bit easier there for forZe to do. 5v3.
Already a bit of a kick in the teeth for OpTic. They haven't run into much resistance like that or these aggressive pushes from forZe, so not really sure what hit them there probably.
No one knows. We're going to be keeping an eye on it, though. That's the nade and the hit. Maybe forZe that have all the answers thus far. Only 2 members alive here for OpTic, and Nico and MSL. Make it just Nico. 11 HP. Don't know where he's going to be taking this, but he does have the bomb. We'll try to go for the plant. Player in X-Power just tries to back away. That plant hasn't been called off. Nico wants to catch him off guard. And, well, he's just not going to be doing that. So, forZe win the first round in overtime. Sort of like the way things go. Somehow, some way, the team that sat on 15 for the longest amount of time actually forces overtime. I'd love to see a statistic on that. I really would.
Well, you might not be happy when you get presented those results. And we'll see if OpTic can find something to smile for here in the second round of OT.
OT, OT. It's never much love when we go OT. I pray we never go OT. I pray, I pray. Sorry. Got a little out of control there.
Had something going there, though. Maybe you could do, actually, the pre-show thing. Just hand you a mic, see what happens.
Tribute to Drake, I guess. Strength and guidance. That's what forZe needs, my friends. 16-15. Plenty of weapons still. In case you don't know how overtime works, everybody gets a lot of cash. We start all over again. The idea here is to win 4. Halvor, take it away.
forZe doing a good job of winning the first one, which kind of solidifies their economy for the rest of the first half in OT. Really big thing for the CT side. They've also made the right rotation here. 2 players on the inner bomb site. Molotov's going to do decent damage, but the quick rotation from Jerry is getting stopped immediately. Flit finds double. Might even make that
Oh,
3.
boy.
Oh, boy.
That has gone horribly wrong for the side of OpTic. Flit doing it to him in a big way. He's got plenty of kills.
He's got them all.
And he's got all the kills. An ace for Flit shuts down the center bomb site. forZe looking hot and heavy as overtime does ensue.
And I mean,
my goodness, OpTic, you have fallen apart right there at the end.
yeah, falling apart at the seams. And with the heavy investments that they've made early on for ops, et cetera, on the OpTic side, normally this isn't a bit of an issue for a T side in OT, but they've kind of ran out of money. Both Config, MSL, not really going to have a lot to offer. You saw Galil getting purchased up. Yeah, you see the UMP, currently no nades on the side of Config, but he's going to buy up that there. But it's not a great buy, and Nico's going to drop an op for MSL. Not ideal. For the better part of their T side, they had a lot more to work with. So going into third round of OT, first half, forZe could potentially close this out 3-0, where they were having so many struggles in regular time. They could have ended it like this, Trace. Why didn't they just do this from the get-go?
I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah.
But that's above our pay grade. We do not write these scripting, okay?
We just deliver it.
I don't know if you guys understand how these things work. It's kind of like the WWE, WWF.
Tell him, Soldier Boy.
Drake? Drake?
Drake's involved in this. The conspiracy runs deep. Well,
oh my God. There you have it. This is where OpTic need to make a stand. Otherwise, getting blanked in the first half OT, not really what you want to do, is it, Halvor?
no, it's far from being recommended. And MSL seems to have gotten the memo as well. Finds the first kill onto face crack. So opening frag goes the way of OpTic. Still, though, plenty of chances for forZe to get back into this. Jer hasn't found too much success with this forward placement inside of Pop, but I guess luck might change around this time. Is Z-Power going to go aggressive here? This is something new. This is something we haven't seen too much of, and it might catch OpTic off guard.
Yes, it might. Look at this by X-Power. He is just going to get in there and
just mess up whatever smoke. Yeah.
He's got to understand there's more there. Oh, my God. I thought he was going to have 2. Finds 3, and that is a bad omen for the side of OpTic.
Might just be the end of OpTic. We'll see. Refresh might have other ideas on top of Green Train. Z-Power's finally going to miss a shot. Does have bomb control, though. There's 35 seconds left and still man advantage with the Russian team. Timing benefits Jerry right there. That leaves MSL half HP, hop in hand. He's been doing his damnedest to keep them in this, but Jerry again finds the timing and flawless CT side out of force in the first half of OT.
Getting absolutely spanked is OpTic Gaming.
Z-Power, man.
Yeah, this peak right here. The second one, okay, I thought for sure he gets this one.
How does he net the third, right? Like, how does he deal with this? I guess
it's like 10% luck. It's like 20% skill.
You know, it's about like 50% concentrated power of will.
Yeah, it's somewhere along that line. I mean, the numbers might check out, but ultimately, it's outrageous.
It is
to have that third kill,
and it's especially when you see who's wielding that UMP as well. Like, sure, it's not going to be the greatest weapon on the planet, but Config's been playing supremely well leading up to this point. So you would imagine him being accurate enough to down Z-Power.
Well, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you've been waiting for. What could be the conclusion? Looks like they want to lean towards enter. It's going to be forZe on the T side as we've switched over. MSL is going to get that op shot. Tess is playing very close. They're very cognizant of it, actually spamming him down. And Flit having a great overtime thus far. This has not gone well for the side of OpTic. 2v4. It's only going to be Nico and Refresh to try to keep this dream alive. And there you have it. Refresh. 1 versus 3. What are you going to do now? Nothing at all. Almazar closes it out. And that's all she wrote. OpTic Gaming will not be in Chicago. You heard it here first. You'll see it later. You'll read about it. You'll see all the numbers you need to see. But all that you need to know is out of the running is OpTic Gaming. forZe will be moving on into the championship. And that is just unexpected right there. Some very good individual plays inside of forZe and a really good look overall.
Yeah, really solid. Jerry maintaining a pretty high level throughout the entire map of Train. Z-Power getting really into it towards the second half. They're more or less a big reason as to why forZe managed to claw back into it once they dropped the ball and went into OT. Some crazy individual performances there. good to see Config getting coming alive on Train, but not enough to really make it work out or mean anything, I suppose.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting, right? We could talk about OpTic, but more importantly, I'd like to understand what's going to happen with forZe as we look towards this grand final. Again, we're on a rolling schedule, best of 3. We keep with the same format, but how will they match up against Heroic? That's
going to be a really curious question. Again, map pool could be all over the place. It's going to be fun to see, but I think we're just going to let the teams do the talking, and what we should do is head to a break.
Yeah, let's do that. See you in a minute.